Hi everyone, welcome to YourPedia and this is Shubha. So this video is for all the ones who are preparing for Airport Authority examination. Now you see that whenever you are preparing for any examination, PYQs actually help us a lot. Through this video, I'm going to give you a brief analysis of all the previous year vocabulary questions that were asked from 2015 to 2025, approximately a set of 50 questions. One assurance is that if you will listen the video very carefully, I assure you that you will be able to learn all the vocabulary words. There are certain ways to remember the vocabulary. One through mnemonics, which I've guided you in my previous video also. A generic example is, suppose I give you a word, abandon. That is having A-B-A-N-D-O-N, dawn in it. You just imagine when a dawn comes up, suppose a dawn came up here. I will be leaving everything, I'll be running from that place, I'll be rushing to other place. So that is, it is giving us a sense, dawn is there, that means leaving everything and you are running. So that is the way you learn a vocabulary word, abandon, leave everything, give up everything. So this is one way when you learn the words through mnemonics. Here in this video, I'm going to give you all the learned words, the last 10-year words which were asked in these 10 years, basically through a story format. It's going to be a very impressive way, and also it's going to be the way where you can relate the story with your own self. Like if I say I'll talk about a father, a mother, a sister and a brother, it's going to be a story about their personality traits and about a generic, some kind of, you can say, little events which I'm going to share with you, and you're going to retain those events in your mind, and certainly the vocabulary words would be very simpler for you to remember. Now last, don't forget to download the documentation also. The reason I say is because in the documentation, the words are listed according to years, plus their explanation is also there. So yeah, it will be very easier for you to grasp it out. Now let's get started and just listen the video very carefully. The very first, I'm going to showcase 4 pictures with you, right? It's going to give you a contextual CD. All you have to give is boost up your imagination. You have to imagine a kind of a family having, like, it's a father, mother, little sister and a brother. You can see the faces. How the father looks? Very serious, very determined, and a father is always protective for his family. That's the nature of every father. Mother, for every person, the mother is the most beautiful soul. Very gorgeous, very beautiful, cooks delicious foods. So that are the particular traits of a mother. Sister, she looks little naughty. I would say maybe the sisters are very responsible. But here the story which I'm going to present in front of you, there the sister is little, you can say, in a negative trait. So all the negative traits I'm going to attach with the sister, who is always, you can say, sulking. That is always sitting in a very moody way, just all alone. So that is sulking. I'll make you learn these words. And the last is you being a person who is very flexible, who is always secular, who is very clearly, whatever you want to do, you are doing it out. So these are the 4 persons of which story I'm going to tell, and through which you are going to learn the vocabulary words of today. Just visualize these pictures. Now the very first is the father. The father, is he looking like a staid? Staid is a person who is very serious in nature. Is there any seriousness on his face? Like, yes. So seriousness, very quiet and very respectable in society. So staid is like he's staying like that in the society. That is very respectable, very, you can say, having a quality of seriousness on his face. And yes, he is the one who is very serious minded and quiet. Determined. He is very determined. Whatever he thinks that he has to do, he will do. So determined is one another trait, that is a firm decision. He makes decision for a family. So that is having determination, making firm decision. Staid, serious natured, and determined, who is having the determination or fixing one thing as its own. Blunt. Oh, the fathers are very blunt. They don't need to be very polite. They don't need to act polite. They say the things are very straight. That is straightforward nature of a father. Vanity. Vanity is, he's obviously extreme pride of himself, that whatever I have done, like he's always in self-love, self-admiration. Oh, I'm doing so much things for my family. Not every father, but yes, this is a way you are to remember it out. So yes, vanity is when you are admiring yourself, when you love yourself. So that is the self-admiration. Intrepid. Intrepid is a person who is very fearless. He's not a very adventurous person. Your father does not do much of the adventure. I'm not going to take him to the rides and all that. But yes, he's a person who is not very adventurous, but yes, he's a person who is very fearless when it comes to his family. Very unafraid, like someone who can take bold decisions for his family. So I hope these all the words fit in the case of father of many families. Now we can just relate the words again. State, someone who was serious. A father, determined, who has fixed something to do. Blunt, say the words very vocally clear. Vanity, extreme pride of himself. And intrepid, that is someone who is very fearless, that is unafraid in nature. So that was about father. Let's look about the mother. Oh, she looks so beautiful. So that is the way you have to remember your mother. That is who is very graceful. Graceful, that is who is very elegant, sophisticated. She's a cultured lady, stylish one also. So yes, she goes to kitty parties or somewhere. So that is graceful. So graceful is a word that comes to the terminology of the person who is very elegant, like a positive word. So I'm going to attach all the positive words with the mother. Then is gorgeous, extremely beautiful, that is gorgeous. So it's very pretty, that is gorgeous. Beautiful, someone who is good looking. For every, I think there won't be any person in the whole world who won't be loving the way his mother looks, right? So that is, she's very good looking for oneself, that is beautiful. Attractive, yes, she is attractive, everyone, she's appealing to the senses, tempting, that is interesting. So that is attractive is the personality. When she comes out, she's attractive, that she looks good, that is also a positive word. So attractive, beautiful, gracious, graceful, gorgeous, all are the positive words. Heavenly, heavenly is someone who is divine, godlike. So sometimes you feel that your mother is heavenly, that is she's just godlike, she's very pretty lady, she's just doing all the work also. So that is the words which I'm attaching with the mother. Then is striking, obviously, for striking means something that is very obvious, something that is noticeable, that is striking. Then it is about scrumptious. She cooks very delicious foods. So that is, yeah, scrumptious word that you need to remember. So these were the words which I brought for the mother. Then, yeah, a sister. Oh, typically, you have to see the face of the sister. She doesn't look very a good soul. Maybe she is, but with the passage of time, she becomes good. Belittle is like she's always belittling her little brother. Oh, you're of no use, you're very little, what you will do, you're just taken out from the garbage. So that is always making someone feel inferior. So that is belittle. Belittle is like something that you take very lightly, someone whom you remark as unimportant fellow. So she will be making you that you are not important in our family, your decisions, your words are not very important. So she is belittling you, that is she's not taking much importance of yours in the family. Deceit. Sometimes you trick your sister as cheating. Maybe she has a boyfriend and she's cheating her family. So that is deceit, that is to cheat. Abscond. You have always a worry. Maybe your sister does not run away with the boyfriend. So that's an imaginary story. That is where a sister is there who is always cheating his, or you can say she's cheating in terms of chocolates or something. Absconding, she may have a boyfriend and she's trying to run away from some place. Guilty, guilty is like someone when you feel bad for whatever you have done. So sometimes when you grow up, you feel bad for whatever things you did in the past. So that is guilty. Hostile, who is very unfriendly, like she is sometimes unfriendly in the nature. She does not want to make much of the friends. Abandon, the way I told you this word, abandon, to give up, to leave everything. Sometimes she plans, oh, I have to leave this family, I'm going to abandon this family and I'm going to abscond with my pervert boyfriend. That is pervert who is not good in character, right? So he is abusive in character. That is termed as pervert, vulgar. Then it is about sulking. Sulking is when you're sitting idly in a room with a very bad tempered, right? You're not speaking anything, you're just sulking. That is sulk. Aggravate, that is to make the things more worse. That is aggravate. Increase the weight of that thing, that is making the things more worse. And then it's reproach. Reproach is when you're not to be approached again, when you don't like to be comfortable in talking to someone, that is termed as reproached. Last but not the least is you, that is an imaginary character, that is a brother who is very flexible, that is very adaptable to new situations. Secular, not any fixed with any religious mindset, common as every brother is. Instinctive, that who has its instincts. Oh, my sister is going to run away, my sister is going to take the chocolates out of the fridge. So that is its instinct, who is very much into the pronounced. And then is apparent, the things that are, he's very clear person, right? So instinct, something that is done naturally, and apparent, something that is very precise and clear. I hope 4 characters of me and my family, the imaginary family, and some of the memories which I'm going to relate with you are very much clear. So these were certain words. So you see that if you will remember these words, positives and negatives, many of the words you have learned so far. So basically more than 15 words you have learned, 15-20 words you have learned through this only. So that was the first time I introduced you the family characters. Now let's start reading the family. Also there are some good moments in the family, bad moments where brother and sister are always fighting. Father, you remember, a very protective person, determined. What else would we remember? Staid, very serious nature looking. Then who is always in the terms of vanity, appreciating himself. Oh, I did so good. The mother, who is very amiable, lovable, who is always good looking, gorgeous. She's the one who is gracious. She's very sophisticated lady, and she cooked scrumptious food. Then there are certain moments in the family where everyone is you can say all together, and they are sharing the bond of one another. So this was about the family. Let's start with the story, family characters. So father, who was staid, intrepid, vanity, determined and blunt. Make sure that you are able to revise these words in your minds now, right? The more you will give a revision to these words, all the previous year vocabulary would be clear. So staid, serious, intrepid, that is who is fearless, vanity in the terms of self-love, determined, the person who have a fixed things to do, blunt, very clear cut, very straightforward. Mother, graceful, very beautiful, elegant, sophisticated, gorgeous, that is a term of beautiful only, beautiful, good looking, attractive, that is appeasing, that is pleasing to the eyes, striking, that is something that is obviously clear, and heavenly, who is a god-like person. Sister, belittle, that is she is making someone feel as unimportant, abandon, leaving, giving up the things, aggravate, increasing the weight, worsening down, sulk, that is just at the side you are sitting, you are bad tempered, you are not crying, but yes, you are not talking to anyone, sulking, deceit, cheating, abscond, you run away without telling someone, guilty, who is feeling bad after he has done something rude to someone, hostile, who is unfriendly in nature. Brother, who is very flexible, adaptable to new situation, secular, who is not confined to any religious boundaries, common, who is like every person, something that is very normal, and instinctive, that is something that is natural, that is something inborn in someone, that is instinctive. Let's start with the story for a better memorization. My father is a staid, sober, serious person, perhaps a bit dull, showing self-restraint and gravity of demeanor man. His intrepid spirit reveals his confident persona. Remember intrepid? That the person who is very bold, who is very fearless, not adventurous, but yes, who is unafraid of anything. That is the father. He possesses a noticeable vanity. Obviously, he possesses a vanity, that is, he possesses a technique of self-admiration of one's own appearance. He is quite determined, that he is determined to fulfill his own goals, but at the same time, he is very blunt when he is expressing himself. He is very straightforward. Remembered all the words related to father, all the PYQs related to father personality, done, tick. Next is mother. My mother has such an amiable nature, amiable, very soft, very friendly, very good nature, that she can easily entice. Entice was a word in the vocabulary question, that is, you are enticing someone, you are attracting someone, like if a friend come to your family, your mother will be enticing to talk about the things. So yeah, she can entice, she can attract anyone into a warm conversation. So she can make anyone converse with her for hours and hours. Her gregarious. Gregarious is a person who is very sociable in nature, who has a good friendly circle. The mother goes to kitty parties or some kind of a parties if she has. She is very talkative in that case. She is making a social personality. Spirit means she effortlessly makes everyone feel welcome and included. Mom moved with graceful charm, her gorgeous appearance always turning head. So whenever your mom is moving, just think that she's moving in a very stylish way and she's looking very gorgeous, turning her heads like this. So that is the imagination that you have to create when you're learning English. Next is her beauty was both striking, that clearly visible, and heavenly, something that is godlike and divine, making her so attractive, so beautiful. Her lovingly prepared meals were always scrumptious. So always start using the words in your regular slang. Mom, your meals are so scrumptious. That is, they are so delicious. Scrumptious meals, delicious meals. So all the good words came for the mother. All the words that fit in for the father personality. Now let's see the next character. That is a sister. My sister has a tendency to belittle me most of the time. She always makes me feel you are the most unimportant fellow on this earth. So that is, she would often sulk, that she's always sitting in a bad mood and very quiet in nature. Her deceit could sometimes aggravate family tensions. If she lies sometimes, she's cheating sometimes. So obviously that is going to worsen the family problems. And in moments of conflict, she would become quite hostile. And in the moments when there is a kind of a fight with one another, she becomes quite hostile. She's very unfriendly. She doesn't want to talk to anyone. Even reproaching, that is, she's expressing, no, I don't want to talk to anyone. So no one can approach her. Reapproaching means she's expressing extensive disapproval. She tries to abandon. She tries to leave the situation. She never tries to face the situation. And in the past, she tried to abscond, and even she once tried to abscond, run away with her pervert boyfriend from the situation. She will never feel guilty. She's never responsible. Oh, I did something bad. No, the nature of guilty is never there in my sister. So that is, these are the words that you can remember with this figure, and this figure actually shows. It's a cute one, but yeah, she goes this. Now a very smiling face, and that is, I believe myself as flexible and common individual, someone who is able to adjust and common in a normal situations. Individual as expected by natural instincts. So something that is naturally expected, I always behave like this. So always you have to appreciate yourself. So here in this character, the boy who is narrating the entire story, he has told himself as a very good person, and then as people around me quite apparent and docile. So people around me are very clear cut. Okay, so that is the word that you choose for ourselves and the people around you. I hope all the words, and docile is someone who are very obedient. You see the people around you, they are following the rules and regulations and norms. So docile was a word where you are following the disciplines. You're an obedient fellow. So I hope that this much story is clear, where he has narrated, my father is like this, my mother is like this, my sister is this one, and I am the person who is just a very common and ordinary person. Making superficial, that is, superficial is not natural. So all the red lighter words are the words which are asked in the vocabulary. Making superficial, not natural, something that is just an artificial one, right? Grotesque faces to me is her way to irritate me most of the time. Grotesque is very ugly faces. So sometimes my sister is making grotesque faces, that is ugly faces in front of me, right? So they are not the natural ones. Obviously she makes an artificial. Sometimes she extends her eyes, takes out her tongue of her mouth. So these are the grotesque faces. Constant oversights, like she's always making mistakes. Oversight means when you are making the mistakes, and omit means to leave the things out. Can make you feel inferior, that is, inferior means that you are feeling very lower down in the family, and you might try to cover it up by acting superficial. Sometimes her behavior makes me feel that I am the inferior person in the family, but I try to ignore it out and I try to act superficial, I try to act faked. I always feel like advising my sister how to overcome her weakness. I always feel I should advise my sister, you should be good, you should not be doing the bad things. But the dilemma is a situation where both the sides you have negative options, and you have to choose less of the negative. So yeah, both the dangerous options are there with you. Ek side khai, dusri side kuan, some kind of this situation. So that is, am I qualified to give her advice? I always have a thought. Am I okay? Am I good enough to give her advice? Me and my sister spending brief and a transitory. So there are certain like short moments where me and my sister are having enjoyable times, right? So transitory is a very brief time, short time, ephemeral, very short time. So me and my sister spending brief and a transitory happy moments and musical band. Band is a group of, you can say, musicians. So he remembers a scenario where he went with her sister to a musical band, and that was a very short duration when we have the best of the times we were happy amongst ourselves. denoting, that is indicating our apparent sweet relations. That is, at that time we were very happy with one another and we were having very good relations. So he's telling us about a time that was very short interval. He went for a music band, but it lasted for a very long time, but a short time, but it showed that they have a very sweet relation with one another. Me and my hostile, unfriendly, sulking, that is, who is very silent, bad tempered little sister, most of the time in the real life ring situation, most of the time we are fighting, but there are certain times when we having a cozy moments also. Her belittling nature makes me feel quite inferior. The kind of nature she has is that to make me feel lower down, feels me quite inferior. I feel very bad when she's doing out. So there are two moments with your sister. One is a happy moment, transitory, short time. Then yes, you went to a band, that is a group of musicians, and there you enjoyed that time. And then is the unfriendly nature. Family visit to graveyard. Now there are the moments which is a collaboration of the family where all 4 members go. So sometimes there are good times, also the bad times. So yeah, the family belong to a Hindu tradition community. They visit to the graveyard, that is the burial ground. Last month an inclement, that is, there was a very wet and a very rainy, strong weather, right? The unpleasant weather was there, and they wanted to pay respect to deceased, that is someone who died, family friend, reflecting secular ethos to the family. That is, we are secular, we are not on the particular grounds that we have to fixedly follow the religious norms. It is not that is to be strong in that principles. Secular is that when you are accepting everyone's culture, respecting everyone's culture and the religion. So that is family moment he is remembering, that is a graveyard. Graveyard was a word that came in our vocabulary. That is a burial ground where all the people went. The inclement weather was there, that is a very bad weather condition, too much rainy was there, and they wanted to pay respect to deceased family friend, that is a person who they just lost, reflecting secular ethos of the family. Gregarious, I told you a word, so is very sociable. Gregarious and amiable, that is lovable, friendly. Social gala, reflect on scrumptious, that is the delicious, enticing food served at our home. So our food which is served to our home is very happy moments, and the scrumptious food which is cooked by my mother. So here they try to denote my one more last incident, that is my mother abandoning the home, that is leaving the home. And absconding, that is he's remembering one more incident there. His sister, she left the home, she secretly went with her boyfriend without any guilt, like she did not feel any bad thing that, oh, I'm leaving the home, I'm running off, nothing bad in that. With her apparent pervert, that is clearly, pervert is someone who is very abusive, someone who is very vulgar, boyfriend, leaving parents in the state of dilemma. Obviously, she left the parents in the state of dilemma in the terms of confusion, what to do now. So this was the first part of the story which I tried to give you through learning some of the vocabulary words. I tell you one thing, if you have just listened to the words very carefully, all these words have been done till now, right? So what are the words that we did that have some positive traits, the words which have the negative traits, thus words that were having positive traits in terms of mother, the places, objects they were remembered was graveyard, ring and the band. Then it is your time and duration, transitory, very short time, and they had the happy moments, brief, very small time. Then it was about the time that was about actions and the processes. Evocating is you are trying to recall the memories, calling up the memories, and denotate is you are trying to indicate something. Then is positive actions, behavior, states. So all these are positive words are there, the behaviors are being given, and then it is about the neutral descriptions, state of being situations like dilemma, tour, difficulties. Then is inclement, that is some kind of a weather which is very bad in condition. Omitted, you are leaving that thing out. Oversights, the errors, the mistakes which a human commit. So all these words you have done. Just by the end, I will be showcasing all these characters again to you. You have to remember these words through the vocabulary, through these characters, and one thing is assured is that you can learn the words very easily, because one side if you see the picture, I think this picture fits in our mind, and then there are certain incidents, a brief moment, transitory, father stayed, then as he's very determined, boyfriend, pervert, then it is like me, flexible, secular, mother, scrumptious food, gorgeous, gracious, the movements, transitory, graveyard, everything it is very easy for you to remember. Just start attaching some pictures, some mnemonics, or through the stories, you can learn the best of the vocabulary. And if you did it, if you revised through this video very carefully, all the previous year vocabulary questions are done. So all the best, keep preparing, and if you find this video useful, please let me know so that I can make more of this stuff through the story section, or you want it through mnemonics. The choice is yours, and I'll be helping you out in both the cases. Thank you everyone, have a good day and take care, prepare to the best.